संगीत मणि शर्मा ने दिया है, जबकि समीर रेड्डी और जुनैद सिद्दीकी ने कर्मश सिनेमेटोग्राफी और संपादन किया। कोविड-19 महामारी के कारण 9 अप्रैल 2020 की अपनी प्रारंभिक रिलीज तिथि से विलंबित होने के बाद फिल्म को 14 जनवरी 2021 को संक्रांति के साथ रिलीज किया गया था। प्लॉट: सिद्धार्थ एक आईआईटी स्नातक सिविल इंजीनियर है जो एक सफल बिल्डिंग फर्म चला रहा है, जबकि उसका हमशक्ल आदित्य एक जुआ चोर है जो अपने साथी वेमा के साथ लोगों को धोखा देता है। सिद्धार्थ को महिमा से प्यार हो जाता है, जबकि गायत्री आदित्य से प्यार करती है, जो उसकी असली पहचान से अनजान है। एक दिन आदित्य झूठ के माध्यम से गायत्री से पैसे निकालकर वेमा को अपना कर्ज चुकाने में मदद करने की कोशिश करता है, लेकिन वह सच्चाई जानने के बावजूद उसकी मदद करती है। पैसे लेने के बाद आदित्य और सिद्धार्थ एक पार्टी के बाद गुस्से में हैं। उस रात उनमें से एक घर में घुस जाता है और मालिक आकाश पर हमला करता है, उसे चाकू मार देता है। अगले दिन आदित्य ने वेमा को अपना कर्ज चुकाकर मुक्त कर दिया और गायत्री के पैसे लौटाकर और उसे सच्चाई बताकर उसका विश्वास जीत लिया। जैसे ही आकाश की हत्या की जांच आगे बढ़ती है, पास के एक जोड़े द्वारा क्लिक की गई एक सेल्फी उसमें या तो सिद्धार्थ था या तो आदित्य के साथ मिलती है। दोनों को लाया जाता है और दूसरे की मौजूदगी की जानकारी के बिना पूछताछ की जाती है। सीआई नागेंद्र, जो सिद्धार्थ के साथ पुरानी रंजिश साझा करता है, उसे प्रताड़ित करता है। सिद्धार्थ का बहाना यह है कि उनकी कार खराब हो गई थी और चूंकि उनकी कार खराब हो गई थी और उनकी कार में रिपेयर किट नहीं थी, इसलिए उन्होंने मदद के लिए टैक्सी ड्राइवर को बुलाया। सब इंस्पेक्टर यामिनी आदित्य को संभालती है, जो दूसरी ओर यातना से बचने के लिए विभिन्न कानूनों का हवाला देता है। वह आकाश के दोस्त के पास पहुंचती है और उसे सिद्धार्थ आदित्य की तस्वीर दिखाती है, लेकिन वह उसे पहचानने से इनकार कर देता है। यामिनी को सिद्धार्थ और नागेंद्र के बीच प्रतिद्वंदिता के बारे में पता चलता है। सिद्धार्थ ने अपने पिता की मर्जी के खिलाफ नागेंद्र की बेटी को उसके प्रेमी के साथ भागने में मदद की। फोरेंसिक विशेषज्ञ यामिनी को अपराध स्थल से बरामद बालों के नमूने के बारे में बताते हैं और यह बताते हैं कि कैसे यह आकाश के घर में किसी और से मेल नहीं खाता। पुलिस स्टेशन में सिद्धार्थ भागने की कोशिश करता है, लेकिन आदित्य द्वारा बाधित किया जाता है। लेकिन आदित्य द्वारा दोनों हिंसक रूप से लड़ते हैं, सभी को चोट पहुंचाते हैं और इस प्रक्रिया में स्टेशन में तोड़-फोड़ करते हैं। आदित्य और सिद्धार्थ को उनके डीएनए के समान पाए जाने के बाद समान जुड़वा होने का पता चलता है और दोनों अपने अतीत को स्वीकार करते हैं। जब उनके माता-पिता का तलाक हो गया तो जुड़वा बच्चों ने अपने बचपन में भाग लिया। आदित्य अपनी माँ के साथ रहता था, जिसने अपने कठिन परिवार और वैवाहिक जीवन पर अपने दुख और गुस्से का सामना करने के लिए जुए की लत विकसित कर ली थी, लेकिन मदद मांगने वाले किसी को भी मना नहीं करता था। एक दिन आदित्य की माँ ने जुआ छोड़ने का वादा कर लिया। आदित्य को उसके पिता ने ले लिया किया, लेकिन इसके बजाय उसने आत्महत्या कर ली। आदित्य को उसके पिता ने ले लिया, जिसने उसे कोई प्यार नहीं दिया। नतीजतन उन्होंने जुए की लत विकसित करना समाप्त कर दिया। एक दिन उसके पिता ने उसे जुआ खेलते हुए देखा और उसे ज़बरदस्ती ले गए, जिससे उसका और सिद्धार्थ का झगड़ा हो गया। क्रोध प्रबंधन के मुद्दों के कारण जुड़वा बच्चों ने 1 साल मानसिक विकास संस्थान में बिताया। बाद में आदित्य कानून का अध्ययन करने में रुचि रखने लगे, लेकिन कॉलेज नैतिकता की कमी के कारण अंत उन्होंने स्कूल छोड़ दिया। पिता के मरने के बाद दोनों अलग हो गए। हाल ही में जब आदित्य एक दिन घर आए और सिद्धार्थ के सामने से चले गए तो महिमा के लिए उनकी अंगूठी गायब हो गई। सिद्धार्थ ने अपने भाई को पुलिस को सूचना दी, जिसने उसे पीटा। आदित्य ने खुद सिद्धार्थ को बताया कि अंगूठी कहाँ है, जिससे सिद्धार्थ को अपनी गलती का एहसास हुआ। आदित्य वास्तव में अपनी माँ की एक तस्वीर के लिए घर आया था और उसने बदला लेने की कसम खाई थी। नागेंद्र अभी भी आकाश की हत्या के लिए सिद्धार्थ को फंसाना चाहता है, लेकिन सिद्धार्थ की मदद करने वाले टैक्सी ड्राइवर ने पुष्टि की कि वह वास्तव में हत्या की रात फंस गया था। यह भी साबित होता है कि आदित्य ने पूरी रात खेलने के बाद जीते हुए जुए के पैसे से महिमा का कर्ज चुकाया। निर्दोष को सजा से बचाने के लिए अदालत ने आदित्य और सिद्धार्थ दोनों को बरी कर दिया। नागेंद्र स्व इच्छा से अपना बदला लिया बिना स्वनिर्मित हो जाता है। निराश यामिनी बाद में आकाश के दोस्तों को उस लड़की के बारे में पूछताछ करने के लिए बुलाती है, जिससे वह मुग्ध था, और यह जानकर चौंक जाती है कि यह महिमा थी। आखिरकार सिद्धार्थ ने खुलासा किया कि बचपन की वासना से महिमा को नशा देने, अपहरण करने और बलात्कार करने के लिए आकाश की हत्या कर दी। आकाश ने आरोपों से बचने के लिए पुलिस को घूस भी दी थी। जब आदित्य को हत्या के बारे में पता चला तो उसने पुलिस को गिराने के लिए सिद्धार्थ को गिरफ्तार करने में मदद की। बाद में आदित्य सिद्धार्थ से मिलता है और बताता है कि कैसे यामिनी मामले को फिर से नहीं खोल सकती, क्योंकि उसने सिद्धार्थ की मदद करने के लिए एक नकली गवाह बनाया और ऐसा करने के लिए एक बार निलंबित होने के बाद खुद को गिरफ्तार कर सकती है। सिद्धार्थ ने आदित्य को उनकी माँ के साथ उनकी एक तस्वीर दी और कहा कि वह मुंबई जा रहे हैं और बाद में कोपेनहेगन कभी वापस नहीं आने के लिए। भारत में अपनी सारी संपत्ति बेचने के बाद सिद्धार्थ आदित्य का असरटों था आदित्य को श्रद्धांजलि के रूप में 50% हिस्सा देता है। गायत्री से अपनी शादी के बाद आदित्य को अपनी माँ पर विश्वास की कमी का एहसास हुआ और उसके परिवार के साथ मिलकर उसे खुद को मारने के लिए प्रेरित किया। वह अपनी पत्नी के साथ बेहतर करने का वादा करता है। 7 महीने बाद कुछ जांच अधिकारी हत्या के बारे में एक वृत्तचित्र में प्रदर्शित होने के लिए सहमत हुए। अधिकारियों में से एक मामले को अभूतपूर्व कहता है। इससे पहले कि एक फिल्म निर्माता उसे बताता है कि इसी तरह के मामले अन्य देशों में भी हुए हैं। उत्पादन विकास 13 मार्च 2019 को श्री शरवंती मूवीज़ के निर्माता श्रवण रविकिशोर ने अरुण विजय थाड़म 2019 के रीमेक अधिकार खरीदे, जिसमें राम पोतनैनी मुख्य भूमिका में थे। हालांकि उन्होंने फिल्म के लिए अपने अंतिम कॉल पर हस्ताक्षर नहीं किए थे, क्योंकि वह गोवा में फिल्म आई स्मार्ट शंकर 2019 की शूटिंग में व्यस्त है, जिसे अभी तमिल फिल्म भी देखनी है। हालांकि वह अफवाह थी कि मागीज थिरुमैनी इसके मूल समकक्ष के निर्देशक इसके तेलुगु रीमेक किशोर तिरुमाला को निर्देशित करना चाहते थे। परियोजना का संचालन करने के लिए हस्ताक्षर किए गए थे नैनू सैलजा 2016 और उकाटे जिंदगी 2017 में। के बाद यह फिल्म राम और तिरुमाला के तीसरे सहयोग को चिन्हित करती है। जुलाई 2019 में निवेथा पेथुराज को मूल फिल्म से विद्या प्रदीप के चरित्र के लिए कास्ट किया गया था। अभिनेत्री मालविका शर्मा और अमृता अय्यर को भी साइन किया गया था। 28 अक्टूबर 2019 को दिवाली की पूर्व संध्या पर फिल्म के शीर्षक की घोषणा रेड के रूप में की गई थी। फिल्मांकन फिल्म को 30 अक्टूबर 2019 को हैदराबाद के एक स्टूडियो में लॉन्च किया गया था और पूरी जगन्नाथ और में और कौर ने फिल्म के पहले शॉट को ताली बजाई थी। हालांकि निर्माताओं ने घोषणा की कि फिल्म की शूटिंग 6 नवंबर 2019 को शुरू होगी। फिल्मांकन 2 दिन पहले शुरू हुआ था। इस फिल्म में पीटर हैन ने एक्शन कोरियोग्राफ किया है, जबकि फिल्म ने मुख्य भाग हैदराबाद में फिल्माए गए थे। निर्माता सोबी पॉल राज द्वारा कोरियोग्राफ की गई फिल्म निर्माता 5 मार्च को शूटिंग के आखिरी कोरियोग्राफ की गई फिल्म के लिए 2 गाने शूट करने के लिए इटली गए थे। शूटिंग 12 फरवरी 2020 को फ्लोरेंस, टस्कनी और डोलोमाइट्स में शुरू हुई और 20 फरवरी को समाप्त हुई। यह भी घोषणा की गई थी कि फरवरी की शुरुआत में फिल्म की शूटिंग डबिंग पूरी कर ली जाएगी। निर्माता 5 मार्च को शूटिंग के आखिरी चरण को पूरा करने के लिए हैदराबाद गए। रिपोर्टों के अनुसार हेबा पटेल के साथ राम पोथनैनी के एक गीत को हैदराबाद में रामोजी फिल्म सिटी में शूट किया गया था, जिसे जानी मास्टर ने कोरियोग्राफ किया था। प्रधान फोटोग्राफी मार्च 2020 में समाप्त हो गई। हालांकि राम ने अक्टूबर 2020 तक अपने हिस्से के लिए डबिंग पूरी कर ली। दिनचक रिलीज 30 दिसंबर 2020। फिल्म का साउंड ट्रैक एल्बम मणि शर्मा द्वारा रचित है, जिसके बोल सिरिवेनेला सीताराम शास्त्री, कसारला धिश्याम और कल्याण चक्रवर्ती द्वारा लिखे गए हैं। इस फिल्म में किशोर तिरुमाला के साथ शर्मा का पहला सहयोग और आयुष्मान शंकर 2019 के बाद राम के साथ दूसरा सहयोग है। फिल्म का पहला गीत नुवे नुवे लहरी संगीत द्वारा 6 मार्च 2020 को जारी किया गया था। गीत दिनचक में साकेत और कीर्तन शर्मा की आवाज़ थी, जिन्होंने पहले राम पोथनैनी के आयुष्मान शंकर से एक समान गीत गाया था, जो कि मणि शर्मा द्वारा रचित 15 मई 2020 को राम के जन्मदिन के अवसर पर जारी। इसके प्रोमो की प्रतिक्रिया के बाद इसे शुरू में फिल्म के दूसरे एकल के रूप में रिलीज करने की योजना बनाई गई थी। सिंगल ट्रैक 12 दिसंबर 2020 को प्रशंसकों के अनुरोध के बाद निर्माताओं ने 30 दिसंबर 2020 को नए साल की पूर्व संध्या के अवसर पर तीसरे सिंगल के रूप में दिनचक का पूरा गाना जारी किया। पूरा एल्बम 12 जनवरी 2021 को रिलीज किया गया था। इंडिया ग्लिट्स के एक समीक्षक ने 5 में से 3 कथन दिए। गीत अर्थ के साथ सजे हुए हैं, भले ही शब्द थोड़े बहुत परिचित लगते हैं, शायद यह भी गीत अर्थ के साथ सजे हुए हैं, भले ही शब्द थोड़े बहुत परिचित लगते हैं, शायद यह भी नाकित है, लेकिन मणि शर्मा कभी कभी ऐसा करना पसंद करते हैं। रेखाएं भूरे रंग को दर्शाती है। नायक की प्रकृति संगीतकार एक गीत के विजेता को ट्यून करने के लिए सेट करता है। हालांकि नोट्स एक पूर्वाभ्यास की तरह लगते हैं। राम पोथनैनी जन्म 15 मई 1988 एक भारतीय अभिनेता है जो मुख्य रूप से तेलुगु फिल्मों में काम करता है। उन्होंने बॉक्स ऑफिस की सफलता देवदासु 2006 के साथ अपने अभिनय की शुरुआत की, जिसके लिए उन्होंने सर्वश्रेष्ठ पुरुष पदार्पण दक्षिण के लिए फिल्म फेयर पुरस्कार जीता। उनके खाते में 2 फिल्म फेयर अवार्ड साउथ और एक सिम्मा अवार्ड है। आप अपनी शुरुआत के बाद उन्होंने व्यावसायिक और आलोचनात्मक सफलता रेडी 2008 में अभिनय किया। इसके बाद कदिरेगा 2011 के साथ सफलता से पहले व्यावसायिक असफलताओं की एक श्रृंखला आई। पोथनैनी की अन्य उल्लेखनीय कृतियों में पांडगा चेसुगो 2015, नैनो शैलजा 2016, अनाधी औकाते ज़िंदगी 2017, हेलो गुरु, प्रेमा कौसमी 2018, आई स्मार्ट शंकर 2019 और रेड 2021 शामिल है। प्रारंभिक जीवन राम पोथनैनी का जन्म 15 मई 1988 को हैदराबाद में मुरली पोथनैनी के घर हुआ था। वह तेलुगु फिल्म निर्माता श्रावंती रवि किशोर के भतीजे हैं। अभिनेता शर्वानंद उनके चचेरे भाई हैं। उनका परिवार आंध्र प्रदेश के विजयवाड़ा का रहने वाला है। करियर, पदार्पण और प्रारंभिक करियर 2006 से 2010। पोथनैनी पहली बार तमिल भाषा की लघु फिल्म आधलम 2002 में दिखाई दिए, जहां उन्होंने एक 18 वर्षीय ड्रग एडिक्ट की भूमिका निभाई। उन्होंने 2006 में देवदासु के साथ अपनी नाटकीय शुरुआत की। ईशा साहनी के साथ उनकी दूसरी फिल्म जगदम का निर्देशन सुकुमार ने किया था। इसके बाद वह श्रीनु वेतला द्वारा निर्देशित जेनेलिया डिसूजा के साथ रेडी में दिखाई दिए, जो एक व्यावसायिक सफलता थी। 2009 में उनकी 2 रिलीज हुई, मस्का और गणेश जस्ट गणेश। 2010 में पोथनैनी का केवल एक ही रिलीज हुई थी, दिल राजू द्वारा निर्मित और श्रीवास द्वारा निर्देशित राम राम कृष्ण कृष्ण। करियर में उतार चढ़ाव 2011 से 2016। पोथनैनी की अगली फिल्म कंदीरिगा 2011 थी। फिल्म ने करियर में उतार चढ़ाव 2011 से 16। पोथनैनी की अगली फिल्म कंदीरिगा 2011 थी। बाद में उन्होंने एडुकाटे प्रेमंता में अभिनय किया। 2012 तमन्ना के साथ करुणाकरण द्वारा निर्देशित और शरणार्थी रवि किशोर द्वारा निर्मित। 2013 में पोथनैनी भास्कर द्वारा निर्देशित और वीबीएस एन प्रसाद द्वारा निर्मित कृति खरबंदा के साथ रोंगेलो गीता में दिखाई दिए। उसी वर्ष उन्होंने एक्शन कॉमेडी मसाला में वेंकटेश के साथ सह अभिनय किया। फिल्म हिंदी फिल्म बोल बच्चन की रीमेक के विजया भास्कर द्वारा निर्देशित और संयुक्त रूप से श्रावंती रवि किशोर द्वारा निर्मित और डी सुरेश बाबू। 2015 में पोथनैनी ने 2 फिल्मों पंडगा चेस्को और शिवम में अभिनय किया, जबकि गोपीचंद मालनैनी द्वारा निर्देशित पंडगा चेस्को एक व्यावसायिक सफलता थी। शिवम अपने करियर की सबसे बड़ी असफलताओं में से एक के रूप में समाप्त हुई। 2016 में उनकी 2 रिलीज हुई, दोनों उनके अपने प्रोडक्शन हाउस श्री शरवणती मूवीज द्वारा निर्मित। नैनू सैल्चा जो एक व्यावसायिक सफलता थी, और संतोष श्रीनिवास द्वारा निर्देशित हाइपर जो बॉक्स ऑफिस पर औसत थी। सफलता और हालिया कार्य 2017 से वर्तमान उनकी 2017 की आने वाली फिल्म अनाधी औकाते ज़िंदगी को मिश्रित समीक्षाएं मिली। 2018 में उन्होंने श्रीनाथा राव नकीना द्वारा निर्देशित रोमांटिक कॉमेडी हेलो गुरु, प्रेमा कौसमी में अभिनय किया। 2019 में उन्होंने एक्शन थ्रिलर आई स्मार्ट शंकर के लिए निर्देशक पुरी जगन्नाथ के साथ सहयोग किया। कई फ्लॉप फिल्मों के बाद पथनेनी ने फिल्म के साथ सफलता का स्वाद चखा। इसने 19 करोड़ रुपए से अधिक की कमाई की, जो उनके करियर की सबसे अधिक कमाई करने वाली फिल्म थी। उनकी 2021 की फिल्म रेड है, जहां उन्होंने दोहरी भूमिका निभाई। तमिल फिल्म थडम 2018 की रीमेक है। 2022 में उन्होंने लिंगुसामी द्वारा निर्देशित द वॉरियर में अभिनय किया, जहां उन्होंने एक पुलिस अधिकारी की भूमिका निभाई। फिल्म को आलोचकों से नकारात्मक समीक्षा मिली और यह बड़ी व्यावसायिक विफलता थी। पथनेनी को बोआ पतिशेरिनु की रेपो #रेपो20 में स्टार के रूप में साइन किया गया है। यह उनकी पहली अखिल भारतीय फिल्म होगी। अभिनेत्री नमूना सक्रिय वर्ष 2016 से वर्तमान। निवेथा पैथुराज जन्म 30 नवंबर 1991 एक भारतीय अभिनेत्री है जो तेलुगु और तमिल फिल्मों में दिखाई देती है। उन्होंने तमिल फिल्म ओरुनाल कूथु 2016 में से अभिनय की शुरुआत की। इसके बाद उन्होंने मेटल मेडिलो 2017 के साथ अपना तेलुगु डेब्यू किया और बेस्ट फीमेल डेब्यू तेलुगु नामांकन के लिए सिम्हा अवार्ड प्राप्त किया। प्रारंभिक जीवन और काम। निवेथा पेथुराज का जन्म 30 नवंबर 1991 को मदुरै, तमिलनाडु में हुआ था। उनके पिता का मिश्रित तमिल और तेलुगु वंश है, जबकि उनकी मां तमिल है। उसके जन्म के तुरंत बाद उसका परिवार कोविलपट्टी चला गया, जहां उसने अपनी प्रारंभिक शिक्षा प्राप्त की। 11 साल की उम्र में वह अपने माता पिता के साथ दुबई चले गए और प्रीसेट इंग्लिश हाई स्कूल में पढ़ाई की। वह करीब 10 साल तक दुबई में रही। उन्होंने हैरियट वॉट विश्वविद्यालय एडिनबर्ग से प्रबंधन की डिग्री प्राप्त की। पेथुराज 2015 में मिस इंडिया यूएई बनी और मिस इंडिया वर्ल्ड वाइड 2015 में भाग लिया, जहां वह फाइनलिस्ट बनी और शीर्ष 5 में रही। उनकी रुचियों में रेसिंग शामिल है। वह अभिनेता अजित कुमार के बाद फॉर्मूला कार रेस में शामिल होने वाली फिल्म सिनेमा की दूसरी हस्ती है। करियर, पदार्पण और प्रारंभिक कार्य 2016 से 2020। पेथुराज ने 2016 में तमिल फिल्म ओरुनाल कूथु के साथ अभिनय की शुरुआत की। उन्होंने दिनेश के साथ एक आईटी पेशेवर की भूमिका निभाई। हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स ने उनके प्रदर्शन को आकर्षक करार दिया। हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स ने उनके प्रदर्शन को आकर्षक करार दिया। टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया ने कहा, निवेथा अपनी शुरुआत में प्रभावशाली है। 2017 में उनकी 2 फिल्में आई थी। वह पहली बार उदयनिधि स्टालिन के साथ पेथुवांगा हिमांशु थंगम में दिखाई दी। डेक्कन क्रॉनिकल ने कहा, निवेथा पैथुराज अच्छी दिखती है, लेकिन खराब नक्काशी वाले चरित्र में शायद ही कोई प्रभाव डालती है। इसके बाद उन्होंने मेंटल मेडिलो के साथ अपना तेलुगु डेब्यू किया। उन्होंने एक सफल उद्यम श्री विष्णु के विपरीत एक सीधी सादी लड़की का चित्रण किया। फर्स्ट पोस्ट ने कहा, एक शानदार अभिनेत्री निवेथा पेथुराज आसानी से साल के सर्वश्रेष्ठ प्रदर्शनों में से एक देती है। वह फिल्म में कारण की आवाज़ बन जाती है और पूरी फिल्म को अपनी कश्मकश से बांधती है। पेथुराज की ईयर 2018 में 2 रिलीज़ हुई। उन्होंने पहली बार टिक 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 में जयम रवि के साथ एक सेनाधिकारी की भूमिका निभाई। यह बॉक्स ऑफिस पर एक व्यावसायिक सफलता थी। हिंदुस्तान टाइम्स ने कहा, कप्तान स्वाति के रूप में निवेथा पेथुराज फिल्म में एक सकारात्मक वह अगली बार थिमरू पुदीचावन में विजय एंटनी के सामने एक सब इंस्पेक्टर के रूप में दिखाई दी। सिनेमा एक्सप्रेस ने कहा, निवेथा पेथुराज मद्रास कठबोली की खींचती है और कॉमेडी को अच्छी तरह से संभालती है। उनकी अगली रिलीज फिल्म पार्टी फिल्मांकन पूरा होने के बावजूद रिलीज नहीं हुई है। पृथ्वीराज की 2019 में 3 रिलीज हुई। उन्होंने एक व्यावसायिक सफलता वाली चित्रलहरी में साई धर्म तेज के साथ एक कॉर्पोरेट कार्यकारी की भूमिका निभाई। डेक्कन क्रॉनिकल ने कहा कि वह 2 प्रमुख नायिकाओं के बीच अच्छा प्रदर्शन करती है। टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया ने कहा, निवेथा पेथुराज पूर्णता के साथ अपनी अपर्याप्त स्टोन कोल्ड कॉर्पोरेट समान भूमिका निभाती है। उन्होंने विजय चंद्र द्वारा निर्देशित विजय सेतुपति अभिनीत तमिल फिल्म संगथमीजन साइन की थी, जिसे समीक्षकों से मिली-जुली समीक्षा मिली। 2021 में निवेथा किशोर तिरुमाला द्वारा निर्देशित रेड में दिखाई दी, जिसमें राम पोथनेनी, मालविका शर्मा और अमृता अय्यर ने सह अभिनय किया। दी हिंदू के प्रदीप कुमार ने कहा, निवेथा पेथुराज एक टी के लिए तमिल पोनो बिलिंग में फिट बैठता है। इंडिया ऑस्ट्रेलिया मूव ऑन सिक्योरिटी ट्रेड। ऑस्ट्रेलिया काउंटरपार्ट over incidents of vandalism and violence directed at the Indian community and temples in Australia earlier this year. Modi said Albanese has assured him that safety of the Indian community is of special priority. Briefing reporters following the bilateral meeting between the two leaders, Foreign Secretary Vinay Kwatra said there were discussion on the disturbance created by pro Khalistani outfits in Australia. He said the Australian PM conveyed that Canberra will be taking all necessary measures in this regard. Following the meeting in Hyderabad House with Albanese by his side, Modi said it is a matter of regret that reports of attacks on temples have come regularly from Australia over the past few weeks. It is natural that such news worries everyone in India. Disturb our mind, he said. I conveyed these feelings and concerns to Prime Minister Albanese, and he has assured me that the safety of the Indian community is of special priority for him. Our team will be in regular contact on this matter and will cooperate as much as possible. Later, Kawatra told reporters Prime Minister Modi expressed strong concern on the incidents of vandalism and violence targeting the Indian community and temples in Australia. PM Albanese told Prime Minister Modi that his government has a deep understanding and appreciation of India's concern and will be taking all necessary measures to ensure that peace and harmony prevails in their society. Since January this year, there have been reports of vandalism, violence, and a threat targeting the Indian community and temples in Australia, with Indian diplomats raising the issue. Albanese identified defense and security as an important pillar in the strategic partnership amid an increasingly uncertain global security environment stemming from the Russia Ukraine war and belligerent China. Referring obliquely to this challenge, as the Australian PM said, Prime Minister Modi and I are discussing an increasingly uncertain global security environment and committed to strengthening the Australia India defense and security partnership to address shared challenge and work towards an open, stable, and uh, prosperous Indo-Pacific, welcoming increased defense information sharing in the maritime domain, Albanese said. The two sides also discussed the Malabar military exercise involving Australia, India, Japan, and the USA off the coast of Perth in August. Friday is a bilateral meeting incidentally took place on the day President Xi Jinping was confirmed as the uh, unchallenged leader of China for the third term. Asked, asked if Chinese aggression was the factor for defense cooperation, Foreign Secretary Kawatra said. One of the elements always is the challenges that both our countries face in the maritime domain. You heard Prime Minister Albans himself say that maritime domain cooperation is a very important segment of India Australia cooperation. So I think it is best that we position what India Australia does do between them as a bilateral ecosystem of engagement and partnership, frankly not a derivative of what a third country does. New Delhi and Canberra are looking to expand cooperation in a range of sectors: maritime ties, defense, renewable energy, trade, and education. The two sides, Kawatra said, signed pact on cooperation in sports and audiovisual co-production and setting up solar and green hydrogen task forces. Factory output growth 5 to 5.2% in January. We think this was driven partially by the low base but possibly also by anticipated improved demand in light of China is reopening news. The data suggests that manufacturing is still stronger in India than elsewhere in Asia, as also shown in PMI data. Still, we think this strength in manufacturing could be one of and stability will be key to goals if the sector is performing better than expected in Q1, having contracted in Q4. Rahul Bizoria, MD, had head of EM Asia ex China economics, Barclay said industrial growth was pushed down mainly by textiles and electronics. Experts said the former has been affected by rising cost as well as declining experts due to the global slowdown. The computers electronics group will nest a fall of 29.6% this month. This sector was on war will be key of group because मैदान the computers electronics group witnessed a fall of 29.6% this month. This sector was to benefit the most from the PLI scheme, given that growth has declined by 3% for the 10-month period. It does took like the gains have not yet occurred. Madan Subnavis, chief economist, Bank of Baroda, said the maximum increase in the growth in January was seen for the manufacturing of electrical equipment, beverage, motor vehicles, trailer and semi-trailers, while the maximum decline was seen for manufacturing of computer, electronic and optical products, wearing apparel, tobacco products and textiles. Factory output had growth at 4.3% in December, which has now been revised upwards to 4.7%. Cumulatively, factory output has grown 5.4% in April January as against 13.7% in the year ago period. Capital goods did well in January, so there is a scheme. Electrical has declined well. Non-electrical has grown by 10.3%. The auto sector continue to do well, and this may be attributed more to the supply side issues by being addressed. Cumulative growth has been 5.4%, and it does look like that for the year we would end with the growth in the region of 6%. Subnavis said electricity output grew 127% in January and against a low base of 0.9% growth in January last year, meaning output grew 8.8% in January as against 3.0% in the year ago period and 10% growth in December. ED gets Manish Sisodia custody. Mata and advocate Johaib Hossain moved 10-day remand application starting that Sisodia needed to be confronted with people called for questioning and that he had been evasive from the start. The proceeds of are crime are quantified for our rupees 292 crore. Considering the magnitude of the matter, we need to identify the complete modus operandi. We need to confront other person who we have summoned. We have issued summons to 7 persons. Therefore, we are seeking a remand of 10 days. Hussain told the court, the excise policy, he said, was implemented as a part of a conspiracy to give wholesale business to certain private companies. Hussain told the court that the conspiracy was orchestrated by AAP AAP communication in charge Vijay Nair Sisodia and K. Kavitha, daughter of Telangana Chief Minister K. Chandrasekhar Rao. He alleged that an entity called the South Group paid rupees 100 crore to AAP leaders. According to the ED, the South Group paid bribes to exploit loopholes in the excise policy to secure uninhibited access to wholesale business and retail zones. Hussain read out the statement of accused Bhattji Babu Gorantala, Hyderabad based chartered accountant. There was a political understanding between K. Kavitha and the Deputy CM Vijay Nair was trying to impress Kavitha. Statement show that Cake with a meet visionary. He wanted to show how he can influence the policy. He was acting on behalf of the Chief Minister and Deputy Chief Minister Hussain and told the court Sisodia was personally involved in getting the file of the Indospirit L1 license cleared. He said. This, he said, was very important to get done since it wastes the vehicle that would get the kickback done. The owner of MS, Mrs. Indoprint Sameer Mahendaru is also an accused in the excise policy case. The company is also under investigation for its alleged link with the member of the South Group. At jet speed, the application comes, it is proved and allocation granted in a few days. All these things check out. They are not random incident, Hussain told the court. He claimed there was destruction of evidence in this case as 14 phones has been destroyed or changed. Only two phones could be recovered. Sisodia used SIM cards registered in the name of other person, Hussain said. He also referred to the statement of C. Arvind, secretary to Sisodia, to claim that GOM group of ministers draft report was given to him in March 2021 when the senior official was called by Sisodia at the residence of Arvind Kejriwal, CM. The ED alleged that the conspiracy was to grant wholesale business to private entities and fix a 12% car margin, and that this was the first time C. Arvind saw this proposal, which was never discussed in any of the GOM meetings. Senior advocate Dhyan Krishnan, Mohit Mathur and Siddharth Agarwal appeared for Sisodia. Krishnan told the court that when the excise policy was cleared by the Delhi LT governor, he did not make recommendations, the issues which are now part of ED investigation. Center puts out advisory as an influenza virus kills too. Asthmatic was asthmatic fallen line of his big budget bazaar of in first of its kind attempt. Gujarat released 10 captive bred wolves of in the wild. Center put. And asthmatic was admitted to a hospital on February 24 after he complained of cough and cold. Lab reports confirming that he was infected with the H3N2 virus. Came on March 3, 2 days after his death in Haryana, Jind district. 56-year-old who was suffering from lung cancer tested positive for H3N2 infection in January at PGIMS Rohtak and dead at home on February 8. Talking to the media about the state is preparedness in tackling cases of H3N2 infections. which said people need to not panic. So far, 10 cases of this infection have come to light in Haryana. One patient has died in Jind district, but he was also suffering from lung cancer. These directions have been issued to the health departments to ascertain if he died due to lung cancer or the H3N2 infection. State's health infrastructure in a robust and fully equipped to tackle any exigency. Data from the integrated disease surveillance program, which tracks cases of severe acute respiratory illness across a Sentinel hospitals, show that there has been an increase in cases of H3N2 subtype of influenza, which account for 77% of all influenza cases reported over the last 4 weeks. Doctor says that Doctors say that persistent cough lasting 2 to 4 weeks is the most prominent symptom of an influenza. Cases of seasonal influenza are reported every year, and the H3N2 subtype is also not new. But this year we are seeing an increase in the number of cases, and this could be because of severe reason. People doing away with the mask that protected them not only from COVID-19 but also other respiratory infections like influenza. The pandemic preventing children from developing immunity through repeated exposure and also increased awareness among people, said Dr. Pragya Yadav, senior scientist from the National Institute of Virology, Pune. Information provided by the Indian Council of Medical Research says that the H3N2 subtype seems to be leading to more hospitalizations as compared to other influenza subtype of the patients with H3N2. 27% patients with Haryana's compared to other influenza subtypes of the patients with H3N2. 27% reported breathlessness, 16% had clinical signs of pneumonia, and 6% had seizures. Around 10% of the patients needed oxygen support, and 7% required ICU care as per the data provided by the government. On the symptoms associated with the H3N2 subtype, Dr. Rajesh Chawla, senior consultant of the respiratory medicine at Indra Prasantha Apollo Hospital, said people report fever just for 1 or 2 days, body ache and nasal discharge for a short period, but the cough lasts for 3 to 4 weeks. This is unusual but not unheard of. Under China's shadow, India and Australia move on security trade, driven by manufacturing pick up factory output growth 5 to 2% in January. Modi, Prime Minister Narendra Modi with the Australian counterpart Anthony Albanese and Rashtrapati Bhavan Friday. Modi conveyed a censor board say machine factory. This is Personal information regarding ED's research. Gujarat release in the wild bred captivity after training. First, Gujarat's captive bred. In a first, Walls in North Gujarat and North Surastra will soon be joined by their captive cousins from Junagadh once they finish a basic course in surviving the wild. In a first, the Gujarat Forest Department is set to shift 10 Indian grey wolves from a conservation breeding center at Junagadh, Chicago. Zoological Park. Chicago Zoological Park. Wolves are at the Conservation Breeding Center at the Chicago Park in Junagadh. Two forested are as in North Gujarat and North Surastra. Official said the release of the captive bred predators, the Canis lumpus, Palypso, or the Indian peninsular wolf is an attempt to check the population of wild herbivores including bluebells, wild boars, etc., which have been causing significant crop damage in these parts. Work is on in full swing to construct soft release enclosure at one location each in North Gujarat and North Surastra, nearly 200 km apart. These regions boast of an existing population of wild wolf, but with their population dwindling, the relocation is a bid to boost their numbers. The facilities North Gujarat and North Susastra will comprise a 4-hectare fence enclosure for rewilding the predators and a 2-hectare enclosure for the herbivores that will be used as prey to teach them to hunt, said forest officers. A top forest officer said the plan is to release the captive bred wolf from SZP into these soft release facilities, rewild them and help them get used to the wilderness for about 6 months. After that, they will be released into the wild in October November during the start of their breeding session, when chance of acceptance of new members into pack remain high. Abhishek Kumar, Deputy Conservator of Forest and Director of SJZP, said the 20 wolves identified for the project have been undergoing the revealing process for a year now. The 20 wolves identified for the project have been kept in September enclosure and are Closer are the manifested by रेड एक 2021 भारतीय हिंदी भाषा की हिंदी अपराध थ्रिलर फिल्म है। अपराध थ्रिलर फिल्म है जिसमें सेटिंग ऑफ द headlines of take financial shot spores infiltrated by cops before Amritpal politics pull as the police began its crackdown on Waris Punjab they and its chief Amritpal Singh in Punjab last week meant is out to draw parallels between the present situation in the state and that of the early 1980s, but nothing could further from the truth. Thus, were very different times, but then, like now, there was a chess offshot. It was in September 1981 that the Punjab police decided to arrest General Singh Pindrawala, head of the Sikh seminary Damdami Taksal, for his alleged role in the conspiracy to assassinate Lala Jagat Narain, a member of parliament and chief editor and proprietor of the Jalandhar-based Hind Samachar group of papers, who was shot dead on September 9. The arrest warrants were issued on September 12 and a team of Punjab police led by DIG Mangat was set to Chando Kala in Hisar, Haryana, where Pindrawale was camping to arrest him, but Pindrawale, who got wind of the impending action, managed to rush back to his headquarters at Chowk Mehta in Amritsar overnight without being stopped anywhere by the Haryana police. The free run for 2200 km also gave rise to the speculation that the Haryana police deliberately let him go because they did not want any trouble in their state. Prof. Jagarup Singh Sekho, a political observer with a long academic career at Guru Nanak Dev University, Amritsar, remembers how Pindrawale's eventual arrest took place against the backdrop of the battle of political one-manship between then Union Home Minister Gyani Jail Singh and Punjab Chief Minister Darbara Singh, both from the Congress Party. The latter negotiated with Pindrawale for his surrender, who put up a list of preconditions in his book Turmoil in Punjab. Ramesh Inder Singh, who was then Deputy Commissioner of Amritsar in 1984, wrote how Pindrawale refused to have anything to do with the DIG J.S. Anand, who was first sent by the state government for a dialogue on his arrest, just because he had trimmed his beard and was hence not a pure Sikh. The state government accessed to his demand and sent an SP rank officer who went who met Pindrawale's standard and got him to agree to surrender on September 20. That day also saw what is arguably the first case of indiscriminate firing by militant at Jalandhar, in which four persons were killed. The preacher declared that he wanted to be taken to the Golden Temple to pay his obeisance and take a dip in the holy server before he is arrested. Accordingly, a senior DIG rank police officer drove him to the temple and back before daybreak on September 20. By then, mammoth crowd had gathered at Chowk Mehta near Amritsar headquarters of the Damdami Taksal and leaders cutting across party lines gave very speeches lauding Bhindranwale upon his arrest. The crowd, already fired up by these speeches, turned violent and clashed with the police, which opened fire, killing 8 persons. Ramesh Inder Singh writes that then CM Darbara Singh, apprehending trouble, had requested for army help both from the center and the Western Command, but did not get it. High drama surrounded Pindrawale. फिल्म की घोषणा अक्टूबर में की गई थी। इसकी मुख्य शूटिंग The preacher declared that he wanted to be taken to the Golden Temple to pay his obeisance and take a dip in the holy Sarovar before he is arrested. Accordingly, a senior DIG rank police officer drove him to the temple and back before daybreak on September 20. By then, a mammoth crowd had gathered at Chowk Mehta near Amritsar headquarters of the Damdami Taksal and leaders cutting across partially lines gave fairy speeches lauding Bhindranwale. Crowd, already fired up by the speech, turned violent and clashed with the police, which opened fire, killing 8 persons. Ramesh Inder Singh, writer, that then CM Darbara Singh, apprehending trouble, had requested for army help both from the center and the Western Command, but did not get it. A high drama surrounded Pindrawale imprisonment as well. In his book Living a Life, Ravi Shahnai, a former Punjab bureaucrat, recounts the state flip-flop on the plans laid out to make it a smooth after affairs. Since The news got out that he would be held in Ludhiana district jail. A large number of people turned out to welcome him. There was an air of festivity. With the welcome achieved at the community attaches with their welcome entrance of the city. Shawnee, who was then Deputy Commissioner of Ludhiana, says he decided that they would divert Pindrawale's car from the convoy bringing him to Ludhiana and hold him in a secluded guest house, but his plan was shelved half an hour before Pindrawale's arrival when he was told by the then SSP that there were orders from the state police chief to let the preacher's car enter Ludhiana along with the convoy of police vehicles. Sone writers how he called up the CM who in a term told him that the orders had come from none other than Gyani Jail Singh. As expected, the convoy turned into a procession as people followed it in various modes of transport and pro Pindrawale salons filled the air. As demanded by him, Pindrawale was escorted by Gurdaspur SSP Chahal, who came with a list of instructions given by the preacher. Savni writes Pindrawale was still sitting in the ambassador car with two companions when Chahal came across to where the Deputy Inspector General Police Patiala Range SSP Bhatti and I were discussing security arrangements to convey the conditions Pindrawale had attached to his surrender. In this book, Sone then goes on to list Pindrawale's condition to two companies his cook and as demanded by him. Two companions, his cook and his sevak, would stay with him when he is interrogated. It must be only by a Gursikh, a Sikh who observe all five tenets of Sikhism. When he is interrogated, he should be sitting at the same level or higher, but not lower than the interrogator. And if he chooses not to answer any question, no third degree method should be used. I listed and quote to Chahal, who is under arrest. Pindrawale or the Punjab government brought Shahani. Later, the police failed to find any evidence against Pindrawale and he was set free on October 15, 1981. The state, however, continued its descent to violence that consumed it for over a decade. criminality or politics. Why does the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi from Parliament last week have the reek of dirty politics? Why does a Prime Minister with the highest approval rating of any would any world leader, why does Prime Minister was the higher approval rating of any world leader seem afraid of man his spokesperson routinely dismissed as a gaffe? Why does the most powerful political party in the world seem suddenly unsure of its successor? If you think I have the answer to this question, you are wrong. But they are questions that are being asked and should be asked. Rahul Gandhi may not be the most skillful politician, but it is hard to see him as a criminal who deserves to have his entire political career ended because he made a silly speech. The court in Surat that sentenced him to the 2 years in prison for criminally defaming. Everyone whose name is Modi had barely announced its judgment when the administrative machinery of Parliament swung into action. The court gave him a 30 day to appeal against the sentence, but before any appeal could be filed, Rahul found himself disqualified as the member of parliament from Vianand. It is not the legality of what has happened that should be a cause of concern, but the politics that seems to envelop what happened ever since Rahul sat on foreign soil. That democracy in India has been weakened since Narendra Modi became prime minister. He has been a BJP target for the first time ever. Parliament was prevented from functioning not because of the position but because of the treasury benches. Senior minister lined up to demand tridently in the house and outside that Rahul Gandhi apologized to Parliament for saying that he was prevented from speaking in it. After the A team had finished their attack, the BJP B team that consists of its spokesmen was ordered to attack and they did brutally. One spokesman who has been the TV face of the party went to the extent of declaring the Rahul was the Mir Jafar of our times. For those who do not remember this historical figure, a short reminder: he was the traitor who helped the British win the Battle of Plassey. What did Rahul say in London or Cambridge, a university that makes him a traitor? Nothing. He wanted to come to Parliament to an answer the charge being flung at him by the BJP but was not allowed to speak. After this came the disqualification without giving him time to appeal the sentence. So, what is really going on? Could it be that the most popular leader in the world is seriously worried about a man who had led the Congress party to two defeats in general election? The most more important question is why Narendra Modi appears to be going out of his way to prove Rahul Gandhi's charge that he has crippled out a democratic institution by exerting upon them his uh, immense power.
Surely he does not believe that Rahul is so big a criminal that he has no place in parliament. He cannot possibly support Rahul's disqualification since, according to the Association of Democratic Reforms, 39% 116 of the BJP winning candidates in 2019 had criminal case against them. The Congress party scored higher at 57% or 29 MPs with criminal records. Many have charges for far more serious on their records than criminal defamation. All Rahul did was ask rhetorically why it seemed that all crocs were called Modi. This comment of depend offended a BJP called Modi. This Modi BJP was name man whose name was Modi, so he filed criminal defamation charges on behalf of the entire Modi community. What worries me as someone who has covered Indian politics for a very long time is how very thin skinned our politicians seem to have become. Clearly, they have not heart. But what the American President Harry Truman said about the president pressure of public life. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. If you can't stand the heat, get out of the kitchen. It is worth remembering Truman is words because the defining trait of nearly all our public figures in recent times is that they are offended so easily that even the one mighty Indian media has learned the art of co-towning. This is unfortunate because we already have high official and Bollywood stars co-towning and opposition leaders living in mortal dread of the midnight knock that could bring either the Enforcement Directorate of or the Central Bureau of Investigation to their doors. Meanwhile, the budget got passed last week without debate because Parliament has not functioned in the hope that Rahul Gandhi will apologize for saying that Indian democracy is under threat. Now he has no need to because the doors of Parliament House are closed to home for the immediate future. The question really is whether all this will help the BJP win a third term, and the answer is that by the time the next general election comes around, who knows how many more opposition leaders will find themselves reluctant to stay in the kitchen because the heat has got too intense. For the moment, they seem to all be standing on the side of Rahul Gandhi, and that is good news. So far, they have been suspicious of the Congress party projection of their leader as a future prime minister, and many have said more than once that who become prime minister can only be decided after the election results come. Now we have Arvind Kejriwal saying that this is not Rahul Gandhi's fight, along with there is as well. Another International Women's Day came and went earlier this month. It saw the usual flurry, albeit a little subdued this year since the day coincided with Holi, of WhatsApp forwards and sale notifications from shopping portals. As with every other day that celebrates a particular group, mothers, fathers, daughters, siblings, etc.,
I wondered cynically what the actual point of this day was, scrolling through offers on shopping apps. It would seem that we are supposed to celebrate the growth of women's purchasing power. After all, the origins of this day can be traced to women movements in the 20th century. To quote the popular millennial mantra, treating yourself is indeed. Treating yourself is indeed a sweet luxury of life, but this is a very limited point of view. Data shows that Indian women have shockingly low representation in the labor force. A trend predating the pandemic, the wage gap is still very much prevalent despite steady gains over the years. Then there are other structural issues, lack of adequate safety in public space, improper implementation of laws meant for women, protection from sexual harassment at work, etc. So, what are we then celebrating on March 8th? Should we let feelings born out of doom scrolling, the seemingly never ending exposure to negative content on social media take over? I, for one, I'm very tempted to do that on most days, or since my generation literally spends more time online than it does elsewhere. Should we focus on the forced positivity of Women's Day message on the internet? You know the ones I am talking about. Women are the future. Let's celebrate the strong, independent, and wonderful ladies in our life. She is a dreamer, believer, doer, and achiever. She is you, etc. I think the answer lies somewhere in the middle. However, over the years, conversation with my mother and aunts have made me realize just how many freedoms I take for granted, like choosing my own outfits, career, lifestyle, whether I want to get married, etc. I don't even consider this freedoms because for me these are simply basic facts of life. For my mother is a generation, it was about proving perfection in both the domestic and professional spheres, and wanting to be considered as good as the man sitting one desk over. For the women of my generation, we don't want to be considered good. We demand to be treated as such. We also have the choice of simply walking away from the societal requirements of all round perfection to revel in our imperfect glory. When I look behind my lived perspective, there is a lot to be glad about. School enrollment, attendance, attainment of higher education by girls have been consistently improving over the years. Girls have been routinely outperforming boys on several educational metrics and more competitive exams than I can name. Representation of women is growing steadily in traditionally male dominated fields, including STEAM, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. Bu- Bureaucracy and politics. What is exacting is that there are more public discussions than ever on why there are not enough women in specific field, the obstacles they face, and how to build better infrastructure and policies for them. The recent debate on menstrual leaves is the latest example of how the discourse is changing for the betterment of women. This brings me back to my original question, why celebrate Women's Day? Maybe it's not meant to be celebration, but a day of recognition and acknowledgement of how far we have come. Well, realizing at the same time that there is still so much to fix, an annual wake up call that these issues matter until one day, hopefully, they won't. Not too high profile. Selection. Might and plight on display. Opposition of scrolling in zero vacancy schools of happiness. First big challenge: 18% vacant teaching post. Announced with much fanfare, the Aam Aadmi Party government's flagship program of creating schools of eminence by upgrading 117 existing state run senior secondary schools is set to hit the first roadblock on April 1 when they are supposed to get functional with the start of new academic session proposed with zero vacancies. The chosen 117 schools have nearly 20% of the Sancation teaching posts and nearly half of the non-teaching posts vacant. Well, announcing the scheme, the government had underlined that the schools of eminence that aim to reimagine education for holistic development of children and preparation uh, them to be responsible citizens will be based on five board pillars. They include human resource management, teachers and non-teaching staff under which qualified, able and visionary principals to take charge of these schools. Under this, the government in the scheme document has proposed zero vacancy in teaching and non-teaching posts as per the records available with the education department. Currently the chosen 117 schools are struggling with a large number of vacancies of 5203. Section post of teaching 987 are vacant. Similarly, out of 1336 section posts of non-teaching cadre 606 are vacant. A closer look at the data reveals that the posts educational, physics educational, economics, English. A closer look at the data reveals that the posters of 24 principals, 295 lecturers including 50 for English, 12 for economics, 28 for commerce, 25 for physics, 47 for Punjabi, 26 for political science, 22 for biology, 26 for physical education, 21 for history, 11 for math, 2 for social sociology, 3 for music, 2 each for chemistry and home science, 3 for fine arts, 5 for geography and 10 for Hindi are lying vacant. The scheme underlines that these schools catering to class 9 to 12 students will offer the four main streams: non-medical, medical, commerce and human humanities. The sense on the ground, however, it differs. The science stream is currently not functional in 22 schools of immense. Out of these 22, at least 3 have land less than 1 acres. The GSS division number 3, Ludhiana, is situated on walkboard Land Waldi GSS Mandor Patiala does not fulfill student strength criteria. At 34 schools of eminence, the commerce stream is not functional. Will 30 have been identified where no high or middle school is situated for admission of a new student in class. Schools of eminence will only take students for classes 9 and 11, and in that case suggestions have been made to upgrade 29 primary schools near them up to middle classes. After facing this situation, now government has issued instructions to the district education officer to admit students of class 7, 8, 10 and 12 to in these schools. So if infrastructure is already available, however, there is no mention of admission to class 6 in these schools. The online registration for admission to these upgraded schools for the academic years 2023 to 24 has already been done. All class 8 and 10 students from schools in Punjab were eligible to apply for admission. Each school of eminence is open for admission to students from schools within a cluster of 40 km radius. They are supposed to fill 75% of the students from government run schools and remaining 25% from other schools. Also, at the moment, the government is only upgrading 4 schools into School of Eminence in Amritsar district on a priority basis, and the remaining will be upgraded in the coming financial year. Kuldeep Singh Dwarka, General Secretary, Government Teacher Union, said that the conversion of existing schools into schools of eminence will not change anything on the ground unless the vacancies of teaching posts are filled. Also, the required infrastructure for various streams, including laboratories, must be provided with immediate effect. He asked why the government was adopting pick and choose criteria to create schools of eminence instead of operating all the state run schools in the same manner. If government fill all the vacancies of the teachers and make them responsible for the results of the students, and with provides proper labs, all the schools in Punjab will turn into schools of eminence. He said, adding that our governments think that fulfilling all posts will be an extra financial burden. Moreover, the students of class 6 will, he said, adding that our government think that fulfilling all posts would be an extra financial burden. Moreover, the students of class 6 will face problems as no fresh admission to this class would take place in School of Eminence. Dwarka said, he said, allowing admission to other classes 7, 8, 10 and 12 in these schools. So if the infrastructure is available, is a ridiculous move, as admission to all classes from 6 onwards have already been taking place in these schools. This scheme has already faced protest with the Democratic Teacher Front questioning the relevance of schools of eminence. DTF State President Vikram Dev Singh Thursday sent a question letter to Chief Minister Bhagwant Mann and announced that they will hold a protest on April 23 in front of his Sangrur residence. Discriminatory education in the name of School of Eminence is being promoted in the state, Vikram Dev said. adding that the setting up of a school is land within a radius of 40 km in the concept of bringing students to school instead of taking the school is every child. This is a conspiracy to deprive a large number of students of education, he said, adding that they will send questions regarding the school of eminence to the uh, leg- legislator April 1 to April 7. Well, Director General School Education Vinay Dabalani is on leave. Education Minister Harjot Singh Bans could not be contacted for this is a comment. Canada very closely following developments in Punjab. Foreign Minister Melanie Joly. Canada is very closely following the development in Punjab and will continue to address the concern of the community. Foreign Minister Melanie Joly has said amid Punjab police's crackdown on radical preacher Amritpal Singh. Joly was answering a question for Indo-Canadian MP Ikwinder Singh Gahir in the House of Commons on Thursday. We are aware of the evolving situation in Punjab and we are following it very closely. We look forward to a return to a more stable situation, she said. Canadians can always count on the Government of Canada to make sure that we will continue to address the concern of many members of the community, she added. Gahir said he had heard about the ongoing mass suspension of internet services in Punjab and asked Joly to update the House about the situation in India, responding to questions about foreign leaders and parliamentaries. Commenting on the action against Amritpal Singh, External Affairs Ministry spokesman Arindam Bagchi urged people residing abroad not to believe in accurate and motivated narratives that are being circulated by some elements on social media. Authorities in Punjab are undertaking operations to nab fugitive information regarding that operations is being shared by authorities concerned on a regular basis. The spokesman said in New Delhi, authorities in Punjab last week suspended internet and SMS services in the state following the police crackdown against element of Waris Punjab they headed by the radical preacher. Police in Punjab are still searching for Amritpal Singh. Earlier in Wednesday, Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau said in the House of Commons, "We are looking forward to a swift return to a more stable situation." Canada has also seen a rise in anti-India activities recently by Khalistan supporters who had vandalized some Hindu temples. A Ram Mandir in Mississauga was defected by Khalistani extremists with anti-India graffiti on February 13, drawing a strong reaction from the Indian consulate in Toronto. We strongly condemn the defacing of Ram Mandir in Mississauga with anti-India graffiti. We have requested Canadian authorities to investigate the incident and take prompt action on perpetrators. India is consulate in Toronto had tweeted. record HPSSC handed over the vigilance debt. Guru Ravidas Adhyanath Center Committee Aam Aadmi Party Arvind Kejriwal Saturday said Bhagwant Mann government in Punjab will not hesitate in taking through decisions to maintain law and order and asserted that thus trying to vitiate the atmosphere in the state are on the run. He also held Punjab Chief Minister for maintaining peace in the state but without a bullet being fired or blood being shed. In the past few days, you saw how some people try to disturb peace in Punjab. We do not have to allow the atmosphere to be spoiled at any cost. We have to maintain peace, law, and order in Punjab, Kejriwal said, without naming a fugitive pro Khalistan sympathizer. Amritpal Singh Kejriwal held man for maintaining peace in the state amid massive crackdown to arrest the radical preacher. Sometimes, though, decisions have to be taken, but if our AAP government in Punjab under the leadership of Bhagwant Mann will have to take those decisions, we will not hesitate from taking them. Man Saab took those decisions but without a bullet being fired and blood being shed. Peace is maintained in the entire Punjab today, he added. Kejriwal and Mann were in Jalandhar, where the crackdown on Amritpal began on Saturday to lay the foundation stone of Shri Guru Ravidas Bani Adhyan Center at Dar Sachkhand Balla here. They also handed over a check of 25 crore rupees to the Dera Sachkhand Balla chief as the first installment to start the work. This comes ahead of the by-poll to Jalandhar Lok Sabha seat on the issue of drugs. Kejriwal asked the people of Punjab to join hands with the AAP government in whipping out this menace. I am not saying that drug problem has been eradicated from the state completely, but it will happen soon. When 3 crore Punjabis join hands with the government, then no drug peddler will have the courage to sell drugs, he said. Kejriwal said the law and order situation in the state has 25 crore only. Formation. Kejriwal said law and order situation in the state has improved after the formation of the Aam Aadmi Party government. During the previous governments, their MLA and ministers had settings with gangsters, mafia, and criminals, he alleged. But the AAP government does not have any such setting with anyone. That is why gangsters and mafia are being punished, he said. Punjab is slowly coming back on track of being Rangla Punjab, he said. He has to give jobs. We have to give computers to children. We do not have to give drugs and guns to them. You have formed an honest government in Punjab. We can all make the state Rangla Punjab, he added.
Meanwhile, Maan said the upcoming Adyan Center will go a long way in undertaking extensive research and study of the Bani teachings of Guru Ravidas. He said the center will also be instrumental in propagating teachings of Guru Ravidas, the doyen of Bhakti movement, in every nook and corner of the world. Man said this land has always propagated the message of universal peace, brotherhood, and communal harmony in consonance with the path shown by the Dr. B.R. Ambedkar. The state government is according top priority to the education sector along with the health, employment and the others. He said, adding his government has taken path breaking initiatives in these sectors. Man said the poor people have been dished by those who claim to be their own leaders. He reminded the people that earlier governments had denied the future of poor students by sparing the money means for the post. Man said the poor people have been teased by those who claim to be their own leaders. He reminded the people that earlier governments had turned the future of poor students by spying the money meant for the post matric scholarship scheme. On the contrary, his government is making concerted efforts for mitigating the woes of the common people. He added, the chief minister said the Adyan you have formed an honest government in Punjab. We can all make the state a Rangla Punjab. He added, meanwhile, said the upcoming Adyan Center. On the contrary, the chief minister said the Adyan Kendra Prabhandhak committee to be headed by Sant Niranjan Das will manage its overall affairs. The committee will have the secretaries of tourism, welfare of scheduled caste and backward classes, and finance department, and the deputy commissioners as a member. It will decide the further course of action with respect to development of this center, including procurement of land Hamirpur, the record of the now dissolved Himachal Pradesh staff selection commission was handed over to the vigilance team investigating the paper leak case on Saturday. The officer on special duty, Anupam Thakur, in a statement issued here said necessary documents and records have been handed over the vigilance department, marking the completion of the process that began on March 23. Thakur said the Anti-Corruption Bureau had sought records from the commission, and the state government had also raised various questions, and the complete information related to the records and questions has been made available. He said orders had also been issued to send 4 vehicles of the commission to Shimla. All these vehicles will be handed over to the General Administration Department. The commission was dissolved after irregularities and leaks were found in several papers. The paper leak was detected when HPSS senior assistant Uma Azad was caught red-handed by the vigilance sleuth while selling the question paper of junior officer assistant GOA IT examination on December 23 last year. PTI. Black millions from Zimbabwe. There are many reasons for Africa's dire delivery of electricity, including aging infrastructure, lack of government oversight, and storage of skills to maintain the national grid. According to the Andrew Lawrence, an energy expert at the Witwatersrand University Business School in Johannesburg. The Western Power void on make USD 8.5 billion available to help South Africa move away from its coal-fired power plants which produce 80% of the country's power. Nigeria, Africa's most populous country, has grappled with an inadequate power supply for many years, generating just 4,000 megawatts, though the population of more than 210 million people needs 30,000 megawatts, says expert. The oil-rich but energy-poor West African nation has ramped with investments in the power sector, but endemic corruption and mismanagement have resulted in little gain in Zimbabwe. Electricity shortages that have plagued the country for years have worsened as the state authority that manages Kariba, the country's biggest dam, has limited power generation due to low water levels. The country's solar potential is yet to be fully developed to meaningfully augment supply. This means that Hirir bearer Babar Omar Chanda never know when he I will the power needed to run his electric clipper. What can we do? We just have to wait until electricity is back, but most of the time it comes back at night, said 39 years old father of three. That means I can't work. My family goes hungry. In Nigeria's capital city of Abuja, restaurant owner favor 29 said she spent a large part of her monthly budget on electricity bills and on petrol for her generator, but adds that she get only an average of 7 hours of power daily. प्लॉट सिद्धार्थ एक आईआईटी स्नातक सिविल इंजीनियर है जो एक सफल बिल्डिंग फर्म चला रहा है, जबकि उसका हमशक्ल आदित्य एक जुआ चोर है जो अपने साथी वेमा के साथ लोगों को धोखा देता है। सिद्धार्थ को महिमा से प्यार है, जबकि गायत्री आदित्य से प्यार करती है जो अपने साथी वेमा के साथ लोगों को धोखा देता है। सिद्धार्थ को महिमा से उसकी असली पहचान से अनजान है। एक दिन आदित्य झूठ के माध्यम से गायत्री से पैसे निकालकर वेमा को अपना कर्ज चुकाने के लिए पैसे उधार मांगता है, लेकिन वह सच्चाई जानने के बावजूद उसकी मदद करती है। पैसे लेने के बाद आदित्य और सिद्धार्थ एक पार्टी के बाद गुस्से में है। उस रात उनमें से एक घर में घुस जाता है और मालिक आकाश पर हमला करता है और